line. Let's go.
She does keep
I'm all
us in
fired
line.
up.
Welcome
You
back to the
done messed
Talking
up,
Average
AA
Fitness
Ron?
Podcast. You done fucked up, AA Ron. Welcome back to the Talking Average Fitness Podcast. My name is Sam Burth, and as always, I'm joined by my partner in Dadbot Fitness, Mr. Kevin McCarthy. Kevin, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing phenomenal. I'm caffeinated. I'm ready to rock. And just like if you don't understand the reference of the title of this podcast name, you done fucked up, AA Ron. Um, then you don't know joy. You have not experienced happiness. Because that's what that is. It's
Yeah.
a phenomenal reference.
Yeah. Key
That
and
video
Peele is an American
elite.
institution.
Yeah,
They are. So
it's elite.
appropriate.
Who done fucked up, Sam?
Well, apparently, whoever's in charge of
Maybe we'll find out in like 20 minutes if it's like an actual thing, but I'm
can't
sure it is.
imagine it would be
I can't
false.
imagine it's not. It's a Fran variant, which has to be. Although I will say something that's a little bit shocking is there is no repeat this year.
Yeah.
First year without a repeat.
I mean,
if it's true.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I got to be honest, I'm not excited about it.
Like the workout's gonna fuck me up, man.
Yeah, the workout's gonna be horrible. So if you haven't surmised what's going on, the open workout leaked. We don't have to wait until 3:00 or whatever. The open workout leaked. So we're here to talk about it because somebody at CrossFit on the CrossFit YouTube page published it early, and
nice.
Everybody and their sister, of course, has.
Was it on their YouTube page?
It was on the YouTube page. So like,
they must have just like screwed up what time it posted or some shit.
Probably it was. Yeah, depending on 35 minutes.
It's supposed to be 12 Pacific.
Yeah. So this.
So I wonder if it was 12 Eastern.
So this photo was posted by the Barbell Spin 36 minutes ago. So at 2 p.m. You know what it was? Somebody fucked up daylight savings time.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yep. Hi, Kat. So we're gonna hop on over and we're gonna take a look at this because this is what we're all getting ourselves into.
It's so good. Like I'm excited for it. It'll be a good workout. It's gonna hurt like hell.
Oh,
15 minute cap is a great. There's 50 chest to bar pull-ups and 42. Nope.
Yeah.
It's 5 rounds of 7.
It's so here in the photograph.
5 rounds of 7, 35.
And if we hop back to Hiller's got a better photograph, so we'll do this one. So 4 time with a running clock, 5 rounds of 10 thrusters, 95-65, and 10 chest to bar pull-ups. Rest 1 minute, 5 rounds of 7 thrusters, 135-95, and 7 bar muscle ups.
Okay, so 35 bar muscle ups. Sorry,
yeah,
math was wrong. My math was not mathing, but anyways, less aggressive than in my head. I was like, whew, it's a good amount of stuff. Still, you have to do 10 rounds in 15 minutes with a 1 minute mandatory break. So you have 14 minutes to do 10 rounds. So you better be holding like sub 1 minute rounds, baby. It's got like if you're gonna finish this workout, it has to be all unbroken everything and fast.
Yeah.
There is no breaking.
Right. I'm not gonna do that. I got to be honest.
I'm gonna try.
Hats off to you. I'm not.
I don't know if it'll happen. The last time I thrustered 135 has to be over a year ago. Right. Like just the way my fitness journey has gone and where it's been and where it currently is at the moment.
Yeah.
I'll also be doing this workout, same as 24.2. I did the day after playing a professional academy team in a soccer game.
Yeah.
So, and we were defending for 90 minutes. It was a hard game for us on like in the back four. So a lot of defending going on. And so I was pretty cooked. But I did 24.2 anyways. I was like, because I had to do it Monday. The game was Sunday night. Had to do it Monday. And was like, well, now's my time to do it. And did not have that 6th gear to like give her something.
Yep.
But I went through it and like worked hard, but definitely wasn't that last gear. But I was happy with how it went. I was like, it went as well as it could have or should have.
Sure.
So this one again will be after we have another game this weekend. So this one will be another post-game treat.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send myself. It's gonna be great.
So looking at this, so there's a lot of comments here. I think it would be interesting
It's a
if this,
lot of comments.
so many comments. First of all, people are just like, you know, you became part of the problem, bro. Like this isn't the problem. Like,
No, like Hiller isn't the problem here. He's just reporting the news.
yeah.
You know?
I think this is like it
I
would a
can't
big
read
play
that
from
on
the
your
a
screen.
big play from CrossFit HQ would be if this was a fake leak.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and they just like, I got you,
yeah, like because they've screwed it
got you,
up enough
bitch.
times that like this would be the ultimate. This would be the ultimate fu, and like
Yeah, which because everyone's expecting them to screw up at this point. Like
yes,
if we're being honest, everybody in the CrossFit community isn't shocked when HQ
no,
screws up anymore. Like
no,
HQ does something ridiculous, they fuck it up, and everyone's like, nah, par for the course. Like this is
yeah,
just normal now for them to screw stuff up.
yes,
So the fact that this got leaked,
yeah,
I don't think anyone is like shocked. They're like, oh. And then of course, like so I shared it to my story just now, and
yeah,
I've already gotten like 3 or 4 people replying, being like, "Do you think it's real or fake?" I'm like, "Who cares, man? We're gonna do thrusters and pull-ups,
yeah.
and that's just gonna it's just gonna be what it is." Um, ah,
And I love the first
that's
comment
just what it
here.
is.
Like someone,
What?
and so it was on the YouTube. First comment
Yeah,
leaked by the source.
yeah,
Like
leaked
I
by CrossFit. Yeah,
leaked by CrossFit. Like and so
yeah.
like CrossFit,
Because what was
CrossFit.
it the 1 year that it was it 21.3
Something like
um
that.
the pull up double under thruster, chest to bar double under thruster, bar muscle up double under thruster.
Yeah.
Um, like that was leaked by someone who apparently somehow guessed the correct URL
Yeah.
for where CrossFit stores their score sheets to publish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently, like so dude was just doing
Wow.
like if you have like a combination you have to guess and you're like 1 1 1 1 1
Well,
1 1 1 1
it's
2
called a brute
1 1
force.
1 1 3 like yeah pretty much
Yep.
and he's just going through apparently just guessed the right URL, was able to pull it up and then posted it for the internet to see.
Right.
um so yeah.
So this is
But this one was
interesting.
actually so it's definitely that someone screwed up daylight savings time because it was posted an hour early.
Yeah.
Someone screwed that up when they were like planning the posting times.
So what's interesting is so
But
like what I'm doing now, there's
what you
this. We're doing a little Google foo here.
do? Okay.
So what those people can do is they can say, okay, look, like whenever anybody loads things to a website, they don't actually like people who do this professionally, they systematize these things. So like games-assets.crossfit.com slash blah, 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 year, month, right? So there's a folder, year and a month. And then this is the file name, right? So CFG 24, the percent 20 means space, open, space, 24.1, space, scorecard. And then what it looks like here is they've got a random bunch of text, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that so that you can't Google foo it and like URL hack it and just figure out what's going on. Um, it it would be interesting. Oh, so yeah. So now we're looking at this. We're looking at the right thing. um, so up there in the top left hand corner, you see like this bit right here. They've got
Yeah.
a whole bunch of crap. It's the same thing. If I share this tab, we've got a whole bunch of crap. OYNENFOAN, like so like
Someone just button mashed for a sec.
maybe like it might be a button mash, like we
Someone just had their
I
cat walk across their keyboard.
right. Or like
Yeah.
whatever works, like it all works. Like
Yeah. Hey.
you can't guess that. What would be interesting is if you did so we're gonna go to so that's 2403 and we'll do 2403 and then PDF copy. Share this tab. Google. We're gonna do this.
Watch Sam find it.
You watch, man. Test. We're gonna do a test. Tools, all filters. I don't want that. I want advanced search. Come on, give me advanced search. Oh, they don't do it like that anymore. Okay, so we'll do site. File type. F. 7 days ago. So open week 2 that exists in a folder there. 2403. So we're gonna figure this out. 2402, 2403. Let's try 2404. Nope. Not yet. So whoever did it has not screwed that part up. So yay for them. I would love to just
They
Google
just
hack.
screwed up the YouTube.
Yeah. For a star. How about that? No. How about boom. Masters qualifier. And we'll do tools, all time, past month. Nope, just those PDFs. Or at least
Yeah.
that's all that Google has scraped. So after this, it would be like you'd have to go like manually type in a whole bunch of things. And what's interesting is they've got like a different PDF. What is this PDF? Open week 1, but it's got a different code. Oh, it's the foundations code. Yeah. So you can see share this tab instead. So if like for that PDF, you've got a different thing. Anyway, so we know what the workout is.
For anyone not watching, I apologize.
What'd you say?
They're like saying, I said for anyone that's not watching, if someone's like just listening,
I know.
like
God,
you're just saying a bunch of words in 2404% 20 double slash backspace file type, and there's people like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
I know. We're a bunch of idiots. Well,
Well, we're just two idiots.
Right. Yeah. So here going back to Hiller because he's got the better photograph of it. Yeah. So 15-minute cap, 1 minute rest, so 14 minutes.
Yep.
Ooh, 10 rounds in 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That leaves you like a minute and 10 seconds per round.
Yep.
Roughly.
A minute and 24 seconds. If you never stopped, never slowed down, you could complete it if you did your rounds in a minute and 24 seconds a whack. Which is that's aggressive.
That's aggressive.
So as you look at this, so like obviously Fran variant, right? By the way,
Yep.
I called this couplet of couplets. I called this.
Sorry, I'm sorry. We called this.
We did.
Sir.
Yeah.
Calm yourself.
Slow your roll.
Easy there.
Yeah. We.
What's your tip, Sam, for people coming into this and they're like, all right, Friday Night Lights, baby, I'm ready to light it up. Last week of the Open. What's your tips? Give me top three tips.
Well,
we'll go one for one, same as we did our Thanksgiving tips. You give a tip, I'll give a tip. Go back and forth, 3 each.
Pick which one of the hills you want to die on.
So, ooh, okay.
Yeah, so you for most people, this is a so like it's Fran but harder, right? Because chest to bar. And if that's gonna kill you, like cool. Yep. Like do Fran.
Yeah.
If you are a person who is like, oh, I've got a 5-minute Fran, right? If you've got a 5-minute Fran, you probably have, I would say, a 7+ minute this, because you probably don't do a lot of chest to bars as a guess.
Yep.
Right. That's going to matter. And it's more reps, right?
Yep.
Like the reason we get away with a 5-minute 21:15.9 is because it's
The
descending.
reps go down.
The
Yeah.
reps go down. So
But
like
this is less reps per round. You could argue that like you've only got 10 to do at a time.
it is,
But it's just
and like
it's five going to want
yeah, the cumulative
because you've done the transition back and forth 3 times, regardless of the reps and the load. Like
yeah.
it's the back and forth that like kind of just like jacks your heart rate up,
Oh yeah.
especially if the
Yeah.
sets are smaller and you can go. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
who's doing the announcement tonight
I don't know.
today?
Man.
Okay. I was gonna say like Colton Mertens does the first 5 rounds in 2 minutes. Like that's not a joke.
Probably.
Like he's not gonna put the bar down. He's literally gonna like as soon as he finishes his thruster, he's gonna
Yeah.
ghost ride that bitch into the atmosphere, turn
Yeah.
around and hop on the pull-up bar. He's gonna do 10 unbroken chest to bar pull-ups in 6 seconds,
Yeah.
and then go right back into 10 unbroken thrusters. Like he will be doing sub 30-second rounds.
Yeah.
Like I think
He's
a lot of
not even
games
gonna
athletes
turn
will go
around. He's
like
gonna like ghost step backward under bar, pull
right,
up,
whatever it is,
drop,
like
step
whatever
forward.
that transition is. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not doing the announcement, but like just Colton Mertens will do this in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like that, like top level games athletes will finish that in like 2 minutes. With a 1 minute rest. Let's say like most top times for this workout will
Mhm.
probably be somewhere in like the 8 to 9 minute range would be my guess, including the 1 minute rest.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see like, okay, they've got a 1 minute rest 1 minute.
Yeah.
Do they have to redo their own barbell? Or can they have assistance?
Ooh, so you know what's going to happen is I'm sure somewhere on the scorecard it says you have to do your own, but then in the announcement they're going to have people do it for them, and it's just going to like, again, CrossFit not holding the standard.
Right.
Similar to the 24.1 where they were like face away from your dumbbell, but then in the announcement they were just like ready to rock.
Whatever.
Fucking hell.
No.
Anyways, okay, so your first tip was like, which hill do you die on?
Yeah, I think this so like regardless of
You
whether
mean
or not
like the thruster or the pull up? Like which one are you
yeah,
gonna go for? Or
so I like you could come at it from the perspective of like, oh well, I have bar muscle ups. That's great. Do you have bar muscle ups after 50 chest to bar? As like I think
different ball game.
it's a totally different ball game. So I think for like, and also I love this comment over here at face value. This seems like a bit much for an inclusive open. Get fucked. Like
Yeah,
this is
shut up.
like, and not because I don't
Because
agree with the concept.
most people are gonna do Fran. Like the first part is the workout for most people. And if you get to the
Right.
second part and you can do stuff the second part, like then fucking bonus points.
Right. And so like I'm
But
thinking about the scaled version where it's like 5 rounds, 10 thrusters, 65 pounds for guys and chin over bar pull-ups.
yeah.
Or like, or maybe they do jumping chest to bar, but probably chin over bar. Like, I think that's a great workout. That's still a hell of a workout. It's like do 50 reps of each of those, rest a minute, and then do something else. People are going to be smoked. So
People are gonna be super smoked.
and
But
so like
so
considering
here's the thing that I like is when it comes to the inclusive open,
yeah,
um Athena Perez posted something about like the uh row deadlift double under workout and like double unders are tough.
yeah,
So she'll like get through the row and the deadlifts as fast as possible, do like one double under, and then do the rest of the workout as single unders and just continue like so she still gets a good workout, right? Can still throw down with the crew. So same thing here. If you can do the thrusters and chest to bar,
yep,
get some, take your minute rest. If you can do the thrusters with the heavier bar,
yep.
sweet, get those reps in. But then like if you can't
Go
do
for a
bar
bar
muscle
muscle up.
ups, but if you can't do bar muscle ups, like go for a few. But if you want to keep going, then just do chest to bar and just be okay with your score being like I finished after the first 7 thrusters. But
Yeah.
then you can finish the rest of the 15 minutes, like have fun, throw down with your people, get a good workout. It doesn't have to be like, oh, like I got to I finished the first bit. Because there's some people like this that have like a baller. We have someone like this at our gym at CrossFit Iron Spider.
Yep.
Is an absolute baller of like having an engine. Gymnastics a bit of a sticking point.
Yep.
So it's like smash the first bit in a few minutes, but then
Yeah.
like the second bit is going to be soul crushing. So rather than stand there for 7 minutes just trying to get a bar muscle up, like
Yeah.
finish it with chest to bar pull ups again. Like
Yeah.
do the same thing. It's okay.
And
It's okay.
and so here, for me, the real crux of the issue is, and we've seen this kind of trend where this has been a very aerobically dominant open, and
Yeah.
that's not drastically inconsistent. I think the
No.
biggest thing that the open, especially the 3 week open, has done is there is a baseline level of aerobic capacity that you have to have, or you don't get to move
Yep.
on. Um, and
You
so
have to
if
be conditioned or you can't play.
period, full
I
stop.
had someone, what was it, after the second open announcement, just one of my friends on Instagram posted a thing,
Yeah.
be like, and was like, another conditioning workout. And I responded a little bit tongue in cheek. I was like, wild that CrossFit includes has two conditioning events for the open.
Yeah.
I was like, it's of course, like the sport is conditioning. Like, yes, you need to be strong, yes, you need to have skill, but it's like if you aren't conditioned enough to express that
Hmm.
strength or skill, then it doesn't fucking matter. Like,
Yeah.
no one cares if your squat clean is 400 pounds if you can't thruster 135 for multiple reps, you know? And I already know if this comes out as official, like this is the thing, which it's very possible that it is. But it's like, this is the thing.
Yep.
I can already hear it. All the athletes that strength bias their shits going,
Yeah.
where's my heavy barbell? Where's the test of strength? This open is unfair because they're not testing strength. First off, get fucked. Second off, they are testing strength.
Absolutely.
Thrusters at 135.95 under fatigue of 50 plus reps beforehand
Right.
is a test of strength and a test of your expression of strength. I'm
Yes.
so sorry that your expression of strength has to come with a high heart rate, but that's part of the sport. Going back to point one,
Hmm.
get fucked.
Yeah.
I don't, because every time we've done a lift in the open, it's like, hey, do 20 minutes of shuttle runs and burpee pull-ups and then do a 1 rep max thruster. And
Absolutely.
guess what? The same athletes are like, oh, but after all the thrusters and shuttle runs and burpees, I couldn't thruster as much. Exactly. Get fitter. I don't know. That sends me.
Well, it's, I mean, so for me, this comes back to the theoretical hierarchy. Like they're
Yep.
obviously leaning very heavily into this notion that, like, you know, if you're a level one or higher credentialed trainer, you know the triangle, the theoretical hierarchy, the base of which is nutrition. Right above that is metabolic conditioning. Whether or not
Yep.
you agree with the layout of that triangle, and I know some people who have made some solid arguments that it is misordered and
Yep.
should be reordered. That's fine.
Yep.
CrossFit holds to that as a logical ordering, and so they're leaning into this, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to express yourself gymnastically with higher skilled movements. That's great. We love that for you. Congratulations. You still
I
have to be
support
able
you.
to crank your heart rate and, you know, move a load a long distance and quickly. And like work
Yeah.
capacity is like the thing that they are always trying to push. And so, like,
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you've been working on your pirouette handstands. But if you haven't driven up your ability to go fast,
Yeah.
you don't get to play.
The
And I
thing
think
that
that's
gets me is like kind of piggybacking off that is like athletes will have and this is just in relation to the sport of CrossFit. When it comes
yes.
to getting fitter or hey, I just like to work out this way because I enjoy it. Like I have friends and previous training partners who were like more gymnastically inclined, more
Hmm.
weightlifting inclined, and but
Hmm.
they're just like I just like to lift. Cool, but then you also have to accept what comes with that you're
Yes.
not going to be as good at the sport. You're not going to be as well rounded. Now, if that's not your goal, by all means, do what makes you happy is what's going to keep you coming to the gym.
For sure.
You'll have people like after the open, after quarterfinals, identify a weakness. The handstand push-ups guy,
Yeah.
the 225 power cleans wrecked me, whatever it is. I knew some people who like the 185 snatch in
Hmm.
quarterfinals, the 185, 135 snatch. Not okay. You
Could not go
identify a
wrong.
weakness. You go, I need to get stronger. Yes. How do you go
Yep.
about that? If your answer to how am I going to get there
Yep.
is just doing heavy sets of 1 to 5 reps with ample rest in between,
Yep.
it's not going to do it for you.
No.
You're going to get stronger.
For sure.
You're
100%.
not going to get stronger in an applicable way to the sport, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Well, this also, I think
we're so far off the give us
we're
3
really
tips
not.
for you
We're
to
really
open
well,
workout.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We're way off that part.
No,
I'll
we're not
guess,
off topic, but we're off what we were doing.
all right, well, so let me do my tip, and then here's my thing. So, like,
Yeah, go ahead.
most people are really bad at doing Fran and then doing something after Fran, especially that's like
A heavier Fran.
heavier. Yeah, heavier Fran.
Yeah, yeah.
Most people will like, oh, I'm gonna I mean, this is your typical strength plus Metcon model. I'm gonna lift and then I'm gonna get my heart rate up. And like that's
And
how I do
then,
my thing.
yep,
So like,
yep.
nah, you don't have that. Like you don't have that level of fitness is what I think most people are going to experience. So okay,
Yes.
cool. You'll be lucky if you get to, for a lot of people who might be able to quote unquote do this RX, you'll be lucky if you get to the bar muscle ups. And then after 50 chest to bars, because 50 chest to bars is going to smoke a bunch of people, like the majority of people, you'll be lucky if you get a bar muscle up. And so for me as a coach who would like run this, it'd be like, I don't want you to worry about the second half. The second half is going to take care of itself. Yeah. Like
the first half is going to be your tie break anyways. Your tie break is probably
absolutely.
when you finish your whatever the last set of chest bar you finish is going to be your tie break.
Yeah.
So smash the first part, get a baller tie break time, so
get a baller workout
wherever you well exactly, but also like from a score perspective, wherever you land reps wise, your tie break time is phenomenal.
Yep.
Right? Like what was it? 20.5. The tie break time was like, maybe it wasn't 20.5. It was, we were doing a Wadapalooza qualifier. And one of the things was, it was like wall balls, double unders, and muscle ups in some combination. There was like 4 different options, and each athlete had to do one of the options.
Yep.
And the tie break time for one of them was, you had to do it straight through as a chipper. It was like 300 double unders, 150 wall balls, and 30 muscle ups or something like that.
Yep.
And you had to do it as a chipper. And so the tiebreak time was like when you finish the wall balls. Yeah. And so we're like, all right, you're gonna smash yourself.
Oh yeah.
To get to like finish the wall balls. Like the athlete you chose is the one that like has the worst muscle ups. Because like, listen, get your baller tiebreak time, and then get as many muscle ups as you can. Same theory here. Like, get an amazing tiebreak time and an amazing workout, and then get as far as you can. Because most people aren't going to finish this workout.
Yeah.
Are not going to be able to. Like, if you are, I would say if you're in like the top, if you're in the region of where quarterfinals was, you're in the top 10% of athletes, you're probably going to be able to at least get close, like within a round of finishing, if not finishing close to the time cap.
Yep.
And then just getting faster from there as you work your way up. If you're outside of that, you're going to have a really tough time, like getting close to finishing or finishing.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because if we think about this, like, okay, you've done 50 thrusters at 95, and let's just say like, or 95 65. Let's just say like, all right, that's a fine load for you. You can do 10s unbroken, all's good in the hood. Sweet. Your chest to bar pull-ups. Let's say you can do those fine. Like, I can do unbroken sets of 10, quick shake it out, and then I'm back on the barbell. Amazing. You're probably going to finish the first part in somewhere between 5 and 7 minutes. You get a rest, you pick back up at 8 minutes. You go, all right, I got 7 minutes to get these next 5 rounds in. Let's see how far I can get. Sweet. Your triceps are already going to be a little bit toast from the first 50 thrusters, not even accounting for your legs.
Yep.
And then you do 7 thrusters at 135.95. Let's say you do the first 7 unbroken.
Yeah.
pretty quickly it's not as much a thruster as like a front squat push press, and your triceps and your shoulders are blowing.
Yeah.
And then you get to the bar muscle up, and you gotta lock that bitch out at the top.
Yeah.
And then you finish set. Let's say you finish set of 7. You go back to the thruster, try to get that bar overhead.
Bubba.
Shit. Yeah, done. Um,
It's
okay, so your
official
first
now.
your first tip was, is that it? That's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it just went live. So we're gonna hop on over there real quick. Crazy.
So your first tip was pick which hill you want to die on.
Yeah, my first tip is pick which hill you want to die on, because I think that it's important. I don't, because the point of this workout is to assess aerobic capacity in large part for the 25% that are going to go on to
Yep.
quarterfinals. That's going to leave 75% of the population who's never going to make it. And for that 75% of the population, it's not about the bar muscle ups. It's not about the 135 thruster. It's about like get some intensity, like get uncomfortable, you know, and
Yeah.
and not to say that you don't already or anything like that, but I think it's really important to just not like it. Like the phrase I want to use is like leaderboard. Like don't game it
Yeah.
when it's not a game that you're playing anyway. Don't lie to yourself about the game that you're
Yeah.
playing. Play your like
Yeah.
dance with the one that
I feel
run
like
with the.
I feel like Sam's talking directly to me right now.
I'm talking to
because
myself.
because because my fitness also isn't in that place anymore. And like
Yeah.
the first thing that popped out when I saw this workout was like, this could be it.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about, well, how long do things take? Well, it's 10 rounds in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, there's a 1 minute rest. It's 10 rounds in 14 minutes. Fuck, that's a like, short. Those are fast splits.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I was like, and this is not to like flex my muscles or whatever, but this is something that I mentally struggle with, is like, this might be the first open workout that I don't finish.
Yeah.
Because when I first started doing CrossFit stuff was to like try and compete in CrossFit stuff.
Yeah.
And I did that for 6 years and got to a
Mm-hmm.
point where I was doing it pretty well. This might be the first open workout that I don't finish.
Yeah.
And like that's going to be something there's a lot to unpack there
Mm-hmm.
for me. So we'll see how we go, but I'm going to do my best to enjoy it.
Yep.
And but also like being realistic of like where I am in my fitness and
Mm-hmm.
all that fun jazz. Anyways,
This
so
shit. This drives me nuts.
my first tip. Ready for this one?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Kind of similar to yours. Is like go faster in the first part than you want to.
Oh, I like that. I don't want to like that, but I like that.
How do you like first part? Like think of this workout as like it's just 5 rounds of 10 and 10 for time. That's the
Yeah.
workout. Once you're done, take the 60 seconds to reassess and then go for the next one. Oh,
Yep.
so your tie break is after you finish the first part. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So go get your baller tie break time. Go get some.
Absolutely.
So yeah, go faster on the first part than you want. What's your second tip?
Don't be afraid to scale creatively. So I think a lot of times, because it's the open, we get caught into this pattern of it's got to be RX or scaled.
Yes.
And like for me, this has been a very deliberate choice for me. Like I've done a lot of travel recently, like my different place in my life, so my training has looked like something different. I've very deliberately come into the open, not treating the open like the open, and treating every one of these workouts like another training day,
like a training piece. Yeah,
exactly. And so
yeah,
I don't try to kill myself. I try to be smart. I try to move well. I set a specific goal for each one of the whatever I'm doing. So like 24.2, I wanted every one of my 300 meters to be under a 155 pace. I wanted all of my double unders or all of my deadlifts to be unbroken. I wanted as close as possible to unbroken double unders as possible, like realizing obviously that's a skill thing, but like for me, the limiting factor is not the load. The limiting factor is my lungs. And so for each one of those pieces, can I minimize transition time? And
Yeah.
do the thing. Like that's where I'm going to lose time for something like this. So like it would be easy to look at this and say, oh, well, I can't thruster 135 or I can't do bar muscle ups. So automatically I have to go to scaled, right?
Yeah.
And scaled is, 65-45, jumping chest to bar and chin over bar,
Oh,
right?
like
I
that's filthy.
oh, it's
Like
great. I
that's kind of
and
fucked up.
and also the
Oh,
standard for the jumping chest to bar must be at least 6 inches above top of the head. So you got to go arms locked out, chest to the bar. That's a
yeah.
jumping chest bar. It's great, right? But then there's over here the
Yeah.
master's version, same load, but chin over
Yeah.
bar and then chest to bar pull ups. And so if you
Okay.
if you don't have bar muscle ups or you're not sure you can complete the bar muscle ups and this is going to be a better workout for you, like if this is going to be a
Yeah.
better challenge than this, then like who cares, man?
And get some. Yeah.
Get
Get
some.
some.
Like I'm looking, like I'm serious. Like for me, it's I could do 135 thrusters, but I hate the thruster. My rack position does not like it. It doesn't feel comfortable, and so like I'm thinking about like from a training perspective, what's going to give me a better
Yeah.
workout? Jumping chest bars are their own kind of awful, and especially if you do them virtuously. Like shout out the gymnastics course and like learn how to do that. But like
Yeah. Yeah. Go see
I'm looking
Sam.
at this
Thank you for
master's version. I like this master's version. Like, have you ever done lightweight Fran?
Yeah.
Like 65-pound Fran? That's a shit show. Cause like you got no reason
Yeah.
not to
Get
go
fucked.
ballsy fast. So I
Yeah. Get
don't get
fucked.
locked in. Don't if you're not doing it RX and you're not trying to get to quarterfinals, don't worry about what bracket you're in.
Nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't and like I said, like a way you can scale creatively. If you're like, hey, I still want to see what I can get for a score and like test myself again. If you can do the first part RX, go
Yeah.
bonkers. And
Yeah.
then again, like if you can do the heavier thruster, great. But if you have to scale the gymnastics bit to something, then your score is just 5 rounds plus 7 thrusters.
Yes.
I don't know how that gets scored, but like how reps in it, like 107 reps is your score.
Right.
But then you just finish the rest of your 15 minutes doing something that you can do and
Yeah.
enjoy and challenge yourself. You know,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So it's okay, people. So
Absolutely it is.
so your second tip is be creative in your scaling.
Yeah. Be creative in your
Scale
scaling and
creatively.
and like
Be
even
open
if
to different scaling.
yeah, like even if you're doing the open quote unquote, like worry less about what your open score is and worry more about like getting a good training day and being with your people.
Love that.
What's your number 2?
My second tip, my second tip has to do with the thruster because this is something that helps me a ton.
Yep.
Is pause for a Mississippi overhead.
Get that overhead breath.
It allows you to breathe.
Yeah.
And you can get a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like thrusters, at least in my opinion, in my experience as both an athlete and a coach, thrusters don't start to really suck until you start like getting frantic with them.
Mm.
Frantic. You see what I did there?
Ah.
I'll show myself out. No, but it's like if you're trying to like like
Yeah.
really try and go super fast,
Yeah.
your heart rate goes super high and you can't really like breathe. You're not really breathing. You're just so everything gets really hypoxic, starts to burn, starts to hurt. You can't
Mm-hmm.
think straight, which happens anyways, the thinking straight. But
Yep.
it becomes a problem because you're trying to go so fast and so hard and got to do it. If you slow down just a hair,
Yep.
like do your thruster, do your thruster,
Yeah.
do your thruster, like you're gonna lose what 5 seconds over a set of 10.
Yep.
So that 5 seconds you lost,
Yep.
you're going to be calm enough and controlled enough in your breathing and your heart rate that you
Mm-hmm.
can just go to the pull up and you're not going to take a 30-second chalk break
Mm-hmm.
or you're like, oh, I have to chalk my hands for 10 pull ups. No, you don't.
No.
I'm here to tell you right now. No, you don't.
Speaking
Like,
remind me at the end of this to tell you about my fun chalk experience.
oh God.
Okay.
But if you can control the thruster, and control your heart rate and your breathing,
Yeah.
this is going to go a lot better for you. And again, the 5 seconds that you lose in a set of 10, going a little bit slower so you can breathe,
Yeah.
you will more than make up for by the fact that you're not hunched over at the chalk bucket for 30 seconds before every set of pull-up. And we all know if you don't know this, or if you're saying like, oh, Kevin, you're wrong, then you're in denial and you're lying to yourself. 90% of the time, you don't need chalk. You just want to take a break, and you use chalk as an excuse to take a break because then you feel less like a lazy sack of shit.
Yeah, emotional
Like
support
that's
chalk.
just what it is. You're like, yeah, exactly. You're like, I just got chalk my hands. Like I need to chalk. I need to grip something. But meanwhile, you should be heading out on a 400-meter run. But you're like, I just got chalk my hands. It's so you can breathe. Like that's what you're doing. You're just taking a break. You're just resting for a sec.
Yeah.
But you're telling yourself I should chalk, so you at least feel like you're doing something productive.
Yeah.
You don't need to take a chalk break. And if you control the thruster, I guarantee, like if people control their movement a little bit more, they would feel the need to chalk way less.
Yeah.
Tell you what. So
I tell
tips,
you
man.
what.
Last one.
If you do make it to the bar muscle up, for the love of God, don't bend your knees in the arch position. So we see this as a common. So let's take Karen, right? As an example, we've talked about this on previous podcasts. Games athlete, max level Karen, max effort Karen, 4.5 minutes, something like that. Their first wall ball rep is going to be perfect. Their 150th wall ball rep is going to be less perfect. For your average fit person, they might not be as perfect as the CrossFit Games athlete. They start a little bit further along what we call a movement breakdown spectrum, and their finish position is closer to bad, right?
Yeah.
In gymnastics, the way that manifests is when people get very fatigued, especially their midline and stuff like that, they stop trying to keep their legs extended. They stop snapping midline, snapping their midline closed, and they resort to instead kind of kicking, right? So that bent knee, not a big arch position, and trying to compensate for a poor arch position by kicking the knee forward, right? So that's like in a set of cleans, bending your elbow in your pull. It's the gymnastics equivalent. And so, like we say with the clean, when the elbow bends, the power ends. It's the exact same thing in the bar muscle up. So if you get to the bar muscle ups and you're like, all right, I'm going to do it, and you hop under and your hollow and arch position is like, because you're trying to like bent knee, kick yourself up over ankle
kick your legs.
Exactly. Instead, focus on, like, even if you have to rest a little bit more before you go into your first set of whatever set of bar muscle ups, pause, gather yourself, focus on a big but long and tight arch into an aggressive hollow so that you can actually generate the power from a core to extremity in a core to extremity manner that is necessary to overcome gravity, raise yourself up to the bar, and hopefully get on top. So long and tight in the hollow in the arch position.
Gotcha. I feel like Sam's just speaking directly towards him, and he's like, "Hey, don't bend your knee in this thing. If it's like bending your elbow in a power clean." I said to him, like, I bend my elbows when I clean. Back.
I bend my elbows in the setup position, let alone when I clean.
Yeah. Well, I think my elbows are bent a little bit in my setup position just because my legs are like
I know
go around my legs.
I know.
Fuck.
I had a give me your thing and we'll close this stuff out. What's your third tip?
All right, so my second tip had to do with the thruster. My third tip has to do with the gymnastics, the chest to bar, and the bar muscle up. And this is very important. It has to do with your grip. You don't need your thumb under the bar, so you can just wrap your thumb on top of the bar like so. You'll be able to bang out.
This is why I can't have nice things. You son of a bitch.
Oh The fact that you didn't know that was coming
I
was
didn't
amazing.
see it coming. I was like, I'm here and I'm tuned in.
Uh,
Oh,
Sam's like, I'm ready to hear this jabroni's gymnastics tips.
God damn it.
Oh, okay, sorry, that was a joke one. I just had to sneak that in there. Um, no, so third tip is, see, now it's just like it fully went out my head because I was focusing too much on messing with you.
Oh
Um,
no.
third tip for this open workout is
Mhm.
like take a break if you need it.
Yeah.
So rather than, how do I want to phrase this? Rather than trying to hang on to unbroken sets because you think it's what you need to do or what you
Right.
should do,
Yeah.
you can potentially move faster by taking a 10 to 15-second break, like
Break smart.
splitting your 10 reps into 5 and 5, or 6 and 4 if you're smart because smaller
6 and
sets
4.
are easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You go descending sets always. 9 and 1, whatever works for you. But no, like don't be afraid to take a break. And sometimes that might be a like I'm gonna use the phrase like game time decision, right?
Yeah.
Like I start the workout, my plan in my noggin is I'm gonna do my tens and tens unbroken. Like that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
As soon as you feel yourself wanting to like hunch over into a ball and feel sorry for yourself, it's
Yeah.
time to start breaking things up. And whether that happens in your first round or your fourth round or whatever, like take that quick break. It's okay. And you get a little bit of a break in like the transition between movements, but it's like if you need to drop the bar on the thruster, like it will be less taxing if you do 6 reps, take a few breaths, like I said, like 10 seconds, then do 4 thrusters and keep moving smoothly that way will
Yeah.
be faster than do 10 thrusters, rest for 45 seconds because you're feeling sorry for yourself, and then do 10 chest to bar pull-ups, rest for 45 seconds because you're feeling sorry for
Yeah.
yourself. Like we all know that feeling of I finished set of something, and as soon as you like kind of drop the bar, you come down, you take a step to the next thing, you go,
Yeah.
and it's like it just hits you. If that's going to be you
Yeah.
trying to hold on to unbroken things, then unbroken isn't the right way to go for it. And again, maybe that's a game time thing. Maybe it's like, hey, my plan is to do unbroken,
Ooh.
but don't be afraid to break things up if you need, like kind of like pivot a little bit if you need to,
Yeah.
especially if and when you get to the second part, like that heavy thruster, those bar muscle ups. Again, if you're not like a semifinals or games level athlete, like you're probably not doing all 5 rounds of 7 and 7 unbroken as well. Like, nah, that ain't happening, bro.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that'd be my actual tip is
I like that.
to like don't be afraid to break things up if you need.
Yeah. I like that. I forget what one of the things I was going to talk about was. The other thing I was going to talk about. So I
Your
got
chalk
contact
story.
my chalk story. That's the primary one. So it's a very cool thing. This will definitely be something I talk about again next week. So I got contacted by this guy via email, and I'm pretty sure he reached out to a bunch of local affiliate owners. And the only reason I got a ping is because my garage is an affiliate. And
Yes.
so it's this in no way sponsored by this company, but it's this company called Chalkless, right? So
Oh,
that's the company, right? And
okay.
so they call themselves a radically engineered grip enhancer, right? This is
Okay.
a grip thing that is not chalk. It is a clear synthetic granule, right? It's they didn't invent this. It's called silica silylate, and it is fucking bananas. So
Is it like a glue?
no, so
Kinda.
normally
No.
no, not at all. So like normally, back out here just a little bit. So normally we use chalk as a desiccant, right? So I sweat, my hands produce moisture or sweat. I hop up or I go to
Yep.
grab something. There's a little bit of, it's a little bit slick. So I use the chalk to eat up the moisture. Okay. But if I get,
Yeah.
my hands get wet, they get sweatier, it turns to a paste and I've got to dry them off and reapply, right? This
Yep.
shit makes your hand hydrophobic, meaning liquid
Ooh,
beads off your hand. So the
I don't know how I feel about that.
it's so weird. Like, so I tried it, I played with it yesterday, and it was cool enough that I'm like, okay, I'm absolutely using this in the workout, whatever it is. So like I'm gonna try to do what I
Yeah.
can without grips for that workout. And what you do is you dry your hands off, you make sure they're as dry as possible, and you take the things out and you grind them in your hand, and it just prevents your hand from expressing or retaining moisture.
Huh.
And if you sweat on it, I played with it in the faucet. I like took a cup of water and poured it, and none of the water stuck
It
to
just
my hand. It just
wow.
it's like a
That's
wax finish
nice.
on a car. It's batshit. And so you hop on a bar, like didn't chalk my hands, hop on a bar, and your hand is just dry. It's it's wild.
But
So
you don't need chalk because your
so
hand is dry.
you don't need chalk because you've treated your
Wow.
hand. So what'll be interesting is like how long does it last? What's its half life? You know, like
Yeah.
this is supposedly this is two um um not like servings or
Servings isn't the
coatings.
word, but you're yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Two uses.
two applications. Yeah, so you
There
like
we go.
cut it down the middle or something like
Yeah.
that. However you want to do it, and preserve the other half. I think that's probably how I would do it. It would be the first package I opened, I put the whole thing in my hand and I played with it. And I talked to the guy who was the rep after, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you should be able to get 2 or 3." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Well, if you don't spill." I'm like, "That's going to be hard." Um,
Yeah.
they have dispensers actually. You put them in your affiliate, and you like a
Yeah.
what do you call it?
Like a hand sanitizer.
Like a hand sanitizer dispenser, and it just drops a little in your hand. And so
Wow.
it's gonna be interesting. I'm
Woo.
excited to play with it. I think it's cool a very cool product concept.
You know when that's going to be amazing, or when you should do like testing of that is like peak New England July when
Yeah,
it's
buddy.
hotter than whatever outside and just humid, where like you can't stop sweating if you
Right.
wanted to,
Hotter and a whore in
and
a
like
pickle
try
pit.
that and like see. Yeah, my brother hit me one time. He goes, so they're like, "How's it going out there, bud?" He goes, "Hotter than Satan's cooter out here," and I was like, "Okay." I start cracking up. Oh man,
Jesus.
like what a
Jesus.
description. Anyways, yeah, that would be interesting. I
Yeah.
watch Sam do everything on Broken now. Now that I said like you can break things up, and Sam's like,
Well, you know what the difference is gonna be.
yeah, your thumb under the bar.
Yeah, I'm
Sack
gonna
of
wrap
shit.
my fucking thumb. Um, yeah,
Well, I'm not gonna wrap my thumb, and I'm still gonna do it on Broken.
you heard it here
But
first, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fuck it up.
I'll video it. I'll
Yeah,
video it and post it to YouTube.
that's what we don't need. That's what we don't need to spend our time doing is counting your no reps. Um,
Wow, wow, my
hey,
no reps. This guy
hey,
over here,
hey, man.
Jesus.
Uh, whether you're wondering whether or not it's full lockout or like if that daylight between the bar is just a bounce reflection or if it's actually daylight between the bar and your chest.
No, I've actually got a very good front rack position. I'll have you know.
Do you?
Yeah, what are you looking at me like I'm crazy for?
I don't. So like who was it?
Good
There's a
Lord.
there's a young woman who's a great coach, one of
Taking
the local
shots over
affiliates
here.
here. We were doing some coaching development. It was like we're talking about the front squat or whatever. And so it's like, okay,
Yeah,
everyone grab PVC pipe, front rack position. She grabs a PVC pipe, shit weighs a half a pound, full
yeah,
close grip, elbows 90 degrees, rests the bar on her collarbone. And I'm like,
yeah.
Heather. And she's like, what? I practice. I'm like, that's phenomenal. I'm happy for you, you know?
So I can close grip on my shoulder like in like a strict press or a push press. I can't get my elbows up like a front squat, but
She had her elbows like a front squat.
that's impressive.
It was really impressive, right?
I, I can't quite do that, but
Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
I've
Well,
got good. There will be no space between the bar and my shoulders. There.
all right. All right. All right. So we we all know what we're getting ourselves into. Best of luck, everybody. Final thoughts, questions, concerns?
Get some. This
Get
this
some.
podcast is sponsored by the phrase "get some."
I love it. You heard it here first,
Yeah.
everybody. All right,
Yeah.
come back next week. We'll talk about how much we all fucked our hands up. And other than
Yes,
that,
it'd be great.
enjoy your Fran variant for this year,
Yeah.
the conclusion of the 2024 CrossFit Open. We'll see you later, everybody.